Welcome back to Couple of Issues. We're blowing out candles because it's 4th of July. And it's Carly's mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Lucy.
Happy birthday, Mom. And it's episode 9.
It is episode 9.
My mom's so lucky on her birthday. We're recording an episode for her.
This one's dedicated to Lucy and Contro. So we are currently in Nashville, Tennessee. That's why if you're watching, it looks a little different. And
This
if you're
is our
listening,
new set.
it sounds a little different. It sounds a little more, there's a little bit of more southern drawl in this cooler pond today.
You've been here for a week and you have an accent.
Yes. So this episode is brought to you by, what is it brought to you by, Carl?
Blake Shelton.
Blake Shelton.
Taylor's
he has a new bar. I'm not going to tell you what it is because he technically didn't pay us, but we haven't been there either. So Taylor Swift.
And Taylor Swift's Fearless album, because that was pretty country.
That was...
Although not really, probably.
I think, real talk, roll the intro, Bruce. Okay.
Couple of issues.
I hope that synced up.
It
I don't
did.
know if it
was
did.
Pretty great.
What's up, guys? My name is @CarlyandContra on the internet. And this is...
At Bruce Wigner. It sounded like what if your handle is Carly and Contra on the internet?
Oh, shoot.
It's a really long handle.
Okay, well, I meant like on the internet. I'm at Carly and Contro.
On the
Does
internet,
that make sense?
I'm at Bruce Wigner. In real life, I'm Mr. Badass.
I'm just Wigner.
Yeah. WIEGNER. Carly is a social media influencer.
I'm a famous star. Not really.
On the internet.
Yeah. the
Hey,
internet.
you're on famous birthdays.
True. So are you. Bruce is a famous producer, musician,
Yeah.
YouTuber, podcaster.
I'm a huge YouTuber. I do YouTube.
Look at us. Just
Look
two
at us.
YouTubers.
Guess what? If you're watching on YouTube, you probably saw something in the beginning of this video. A freaking ad.
Oh, yeah.
We're monetized, baby.
I'm so
We
happy.
did
I
it.
noticed yesterday, I was like, putting ads on all the videos right now.
Carly goes, "Oh my god, I have something to tell you," and I was like, "Oh no!" Like
She's going to break up with me.
She's gonna break up with me. Somebody died, and then she's like, "We're monetized on YouTube." I was like, that's
get
even
money.
better.
Also, you might hear a dog in the background. Maybe
Yeah, let's give a little-
crying or just a chain
Let's give a little
rattling.
background of like what is going
True.
on right now.
Yes, you're right.
So I'm on a songwriting trip. So my buddy Kevin Schoen is getting married. By the time this is out, he is married. So congrats.
Congrats, Kevin.
No, that's not true at all.
Nope, it'll be next week.
Hopefully you still get married, Kev.
Yeah, hopefully nothing goes wrong and you're still
But he was like, we were going to have his bachelor party here. So I was like, I'm going to make a songwriting trip out of it. So I'm a producer, songwriter, if you didn't know. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to, book a songwriting trip.
What does a songwriting trip mean, Bruce? For
That's
those who
a
don't
good
know.
question. So basically what I do for a living is I write songs, which is insane. And a lot of those get pitched out to artists because, a lot of artists do write their own songs, but a lot of songwriters write amazing songs and they're not artists. So they're like, hey, I wrote this great song. I think you would sound great on it. And then that person cuts it and then you buy a house in the hills. It's just how it works.
That's how the order works. And we're hoping, it says now we have ads and also Bruce's songwritings. We'll have a house on the hills by tomorrow.
We're going to have a ginormous actual koi pond. It couldn't get more literal. I want the koi pond in the hills.
Oh my God, we're sponsoring
The koi
our own
pond
place.
mansion. Koi pond, we need to buy this house. The first podcast that afforded a house in the hills based just on the podcast.
Can everyone donate $1? We can buy our house in the hills. Our koi pond will be sponsored by us.
That's so funny. So I'm on the songwriting trip and
I crashed it.
I was talking to Carly and I was like, cool. We're gonna miss 1 week while I'm gone. All good. And then we realized we're like, oh wow, like the koi pond really started growing really well. Jason Nash shouted it out. Carly shouted out in her vlogs. A lot of people are finding out. So welcome to the new Koi Pond members. It's a couple of issues, COI, aka Koi. So that's what's going on. So I was like, I don't want to miss a week. We got to do this for the Koi Pond. So
And also he was like, I miss you. I need you in my life.
well, that's true too. So Mama,
I'm like, wait, why am I only here to do this?
Yeah. So Mama Carl flew out, and why are you so distant from me?
I don't know. Sorry. I think I'm used to like having our thing in the middle. Why am I so distant physically, emotionally? Koi Pondy.
But Carly flew out, and we didn't want to miss a single week ever. So
Ever in our lives.
Here we are recording it for the Koi Pond.
I leave tomorrow. We waited till today to record our podcast.
Yeah.
But that's good. It's going to be more up to date for you guys.
And then we're going to do a second. She's coming back to Nashville. She's going back to LA tomorrow. And then you'll be back in Nashville and we're going to do another one here.
Yep.
So we know the setup. Oh, I got to keep these lights. Good thing I'm not taking them back.
Oh yeah, we don't steal. We don't do that. We don't get them and then use them and then take them back.
So some interesting stuff has already happened while I've been in Nashville. During one of my songwriting sessions, I hear somebody came in. This girl comes into the room and she says hi to a bunch of people. And she's like, I really am just using an excuse to come here because Chris Kirkpatrick's in the next room writing songs. Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC.
From NSYNC.
And I was like, that's so wild. The first, so my producer artist name is The Weekend Riot. I was in a duo for years. And our first show ever, Chris Kirkpatrick was at the show and was like, hey, I love you guys. Like, we should work together more. So I know Chris loosely. So I was like, oh, I got to go say hi. Like, I have an excuse to be like, hey, man, we met like 2014. Do you remember me? So I went up and I was like, hey, man, Weekend Riot. And he's just like kind of looking at me like, that sounds familiar. And I was like, yeah, we played this with your artist, Una. And he was like, oh, my God, yeah. So we're talking. I was like, you live here now? And I was like, I'm having small talk with Chris Kirkpatrick.
From NSYNC.
Yeah.
Wait, did you ever talk about the Backstreet Boys thing too? Like just weird like little connections.
No, never really talked about it.
Should we?
I mean, we can.
I think it's interesting.
All right, it's probably going to jinx it, so it'll never happen. So what happens
Oh, no,
with,
now I don't want to.
No, it's funny. It's all good. This is actually really good to talk about. We did have some people talk about, I think one of the emails that came in that were like, oh, we should talk about this later. Something about songwriting. You kind of loosely told me about it. So what happens a lot is with songwriting and pitching songs. So as a songwriter, a lot of songs that get cut by big artists like Justin Bieber and so forth, they'll go on like writing camps. So then they'll send like, the up and coming smaller artists that are about to be the next big thing. Like BB Rexa was one of them, John Bellion. They like went on a writing camp and they wrote, I'm friends with the monster.
Oh, Eminem and Rihanna.
And then it's like, next thing you know, it's like that was supposed to be for BB, but Rihanna and Eminem were like, this is perfect. So they did it. So a lot of that stuff happens on those writing camps. But then, also happens with like, you're writing a song and next thing you know, you're writing with somebody who has a publisher and the publisher pitches it to an artist or a manager or somebody. And they're like, hey, this actually be perfect for this artist. That's what happened with, so when I was writing with my duo partner, this is 2016, we were writing the song with this couple, Schmarks and Savvy, who are amazing producer-songwriter duo. And we wrote this song, and the next day the guy calls me, and I had just met him the day before. We wrote a song together. The next day, I get a call from him, and I'm like, why is Mark calling me? This is so bizarre. Like, I don't even know this guy. I was like, hey, man, everything cool? And he's like, dude, you'll never guess what happened. My publisher happened to be in Nashville. And I sent him our like acoustic, like, here's a song we wrote called Talk Too Much. I wrote it with the Weekend Riot, da-da-da. And he happened to be in a conference room with the Backstreet Boys pitching them songs. And they were like, this is dope. Like, play it again. They play it again. They're like, we want to put it on hold. And in the songwriting world, you get songs put on hold. That just means like, we don't want anybody else to have this song except for us. So then it's got to go, it's like a process. So it's like, they can put it on hold. It could be on hold for years. That doesn't really mean anything. Then they cut it. So then if they cut the song, then you're like, okay, there's a good chance it's going to make it on the album. But then still, you got to go through like, okay, they cut the song, but it didn't work with the album. So then it's like, then once they cut it, it's got to go on the album. So all we know of is this is like we had officially moved to LA. This is July 2016. And the first song we wrote, and it was supposed to be for us, the Backstreet Boys put it on hold. So in my mind, I start telling all my friends, and I'm like, this is the easiest thing in the world, And it just so happened, it was just like
first one.
Complete luck, and nothing ever happened with it. So, so a bunch of time went on, and we were just kind of like, I learned very quickly, it's like, you don't talk about holds. Like, it's cool to say, like, yeah, we got a song put on hold with the Backstreet Boys. That's great. But it doesn't mean anything, It's just kind of like, until that makes it on the album, I've learned, like, don't say anything until, like, unless you're with songwriters and people are asking, like, what have you been working on? Like, oh, I got the song put on hold. Like, hopefully it makes it to the album. In my mind, I was like, if it's on hold, they have to use it, right? So it was just an acoustic demo. Like, a year goes by, and at this point, you and I have been dating a while.
Yeah, we had been dating a while, and randomly I got a job opportunity with AT&T. So I went to Oh, no. Yes, it was AT&T, but it was in Miami, Florida.
iHeartRadio.
Yeah, the iHeartRadio thing. So Backstreet Boys were performing, Miley Cyrus was performing. It was all these like fun performances. And I told Bruce, like, I think we flew in, and one of the girls who was running it was like, oh, by the way, you can like meet the Backstreet Boys if you want to. So Bruce is like, oh my God, if you meet them, can you just like bring it up? I wonder what they'll say.
Yeah, like how wild would it be? Like, what's the worst that could happen if you bring it up and they're like, oh my God, I forgot about that song or something like that.
Yeah, so it was, the day came, and they set it up, though. The people in charge were like, oh yeah, you can like film with them and hang out with them. And it made it seem like it was a thing where we would like hang out and have conversations. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'll definitely bring it up. And I was with, if you know, Aaron, David, and Jason.
Who are other YouTubers.
Yeah, other YouTubers. And none of them really wanted to meet them. But since they knew I wanted to talk to them about you, they're like, oh yeah, let's do it. Like, that'd be fun.
Which is so sweet.
Yeah. So we get there, and it ends up being just like a meet and greet. Like, literally, it was them with a backdrop, and we were just like fans basically there, which like is fine, but we're not.
Because we wouldn't the Backstreet Boys. Yeah. So of course we're all fans.
Which was really funny though, because like they put us at the very front to meet them first, and I think more people were like fans of David Dobrik.
That's so funny.
Everyone in line was like, "Oh my God, David!" Like, it was hilarious. But so we finally were like getting ready to meet them. I'm like, okay, how am I going to bring this up? I have to bring this up really quickly. And I'm so uncomfortable right now because like I don't know them.
She went through a million times in my head, like, what do I say? You wrote a song for them? They recorded a song of yours? I'm like, no, they put a song of mine on hold. That's the way you say it, because that'll get them to be like, oh, what song?
Yeah. I don't remember I forget who I talked to first about it.
You talked to AJ.
AJ, okay. So we're like meeting them, and it's really quick. It's literally like, nice to meet you, nice to meet you, nice to meet you, let's take a picture. So I'm like shaking all their hands, I like shake one of their hands, and I'm like, okay, gotta say something. And it just so happened to be AJ. And I was like, nice to meet you. Oh my gosh, actually, you guys put a song on hold that my boyfriend wrote. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, it's called Talk Too Much. And I think Nick Carter chimed in, and he was like, oh, and he was like, oh my, wait, what was it called? And I was like, Talk Too Much. And right after I said that, the people in charge were like, okay, time for a picture, you gotta go. And I was like, all right. So literally he just got cut off, and I have no idea what he was gonna say. And it was,
because
it was so exciting.
The way you said it to me was that it ended with him like, oh, no way. Like, he was about to be like, I know, but it was just like,
yeah, and I was like, what was he going to say? Because it seemed like, oh, and I remember I was like, yeah, you guys listened to it twice.
That's so
I said
bizarre,
that, and I think that caused attention. He was like, oh, like, and then he started to say something, and then we had to take a picture and go.
So crazy.
So it was like, really,
we aren't doing anything with that song. Or, oh yeah, that's something we're working on. Like, we don't know.
Yeah, so I guess, I don't know. It was just like a funny moment, and how did that even happen? That was so random.
And that they were in Nashville, and now we're in Nashville. That's kind of crazy, too.
Oh, they heard it here?
Yeah. They were in a conference room.
Oh, that's right.
So if you ever watched, like, the documentary, because I started to, like, stalk Backstreet Boys stuff. I'm like, all right, how do they listen to songs? And it's, like, literally them in a conference room playing songs, being like, this would be perfect, whatever. And they write stuff, too. But, yeah, they're, like, you know, a lot of artists will take some outside songs and be like, so these are great, and then also we want to write this, and da-da-da-da. Yeah. So that's our run-in with Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. Yeah.
Our childhoods have come full circle a little bit.
But they just Backstreet Boys just put a song out. And to put it in, I'll put this into perspective. I had a wild opportunity to work with the songwriter producer Toby Gad, who's like a legend. And he had asked me, he's like, do you have any songs put like on hold? Do you have any cuts? Whatever. I was like, I actually had a Backstreet Boys song put on hold. And he goes, he's German, so I'm not trying to be offensive. It's like literally how he said it to me. He goes, oh, no way, I have a song up with Charlie Puth that was put on hold. So I'm like, oh my God, okay.
Like, got it.
Like, yeah, that's crazy. So I'm competing with Charlie Puth. Yeah, there's no way I'm making that. But it's so cool, you know, just to have, like, that was like very early on to learn though that songwriting world, and I've seen like a lot of like tweets and questions and emails coming about it, is that you just have to just do it. And it takes a while, and you have to like network and meet with people. And then the songs you're writing the first 6 months, you're like, this is great. You'll kind of look back and be like, you know, you make progress. Some of those songs will last and you'll be like, okay, yeah, that was a good one. But then there's other ones you're like, what was I thinking? You know, it's all about progress.
I feel like that's everything creative.
Yeah.
Is like stuff you're gonna get promised some things and then it's not gonna happen, or you think something's gonna happen that's not gonna happen, or you do something and you don't expect it to happen and it happens.
And I think more than half of it is luck and just right place, right time in the beginning before you have, you know, once you have a couple things under your belt, then it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, I think it's a lot of luck.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're staying with my buddy Brian Mulligan.
Thank
and,
you, Brian.
He's housing me and housing you and housing his dog
And
Tucker.
his dog Tucker's so cute. But you've been here, how long have you been? So you came here for a bachelor party at the beginning.
Yeah.
So he came here
week
for a
and half
bachelor
ago.
party and was like, I'll turn it into a writing session.
Yeah.
Or a writing trip.
Writing trip.
So how was that bachelor party? Was it crazy?
Bachelor party was crazy. So this really funny thing happened. So I had just worked with, one thing too that I would say is like, especially in Nashville, LA is kind of like a braggy town. Like people will talk about everything they're doing out loud. Nashville is like very, very friendly town. If you're a good person, good things will happen and we'll take care of you. I mean, there's obviously a lot of political crap too, but when you're meeting people out, you never know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I've always been like, hey, if somebody's cool, like if it was meant to be, we'll work together. I'm not going to try to like, smooze and be like, hey, let me in a session. I just like, if we're meant to
I had a Backstreet Boys cut almost.
like that. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
So in Nashville, especially, like it's great because it's just literally like just meet people, be a good person, and that's the thing I love about Nashville. So my friends wanted to go to Jason Aldean's bar, and so we're in line to go up, and my one buddy's talking to this girl, and she's like super drunk, and I guess he had mentioned to her that I just worked with Janet Kramer, and like which I never would have said, had she not asked me. Like, I wouldn't just be like, hey, yeah, so we're going
Guess
Jenna,
who
whatever.
I worked with.
So she comes over, she goes, oh, Jenna, that's crazy. And I was like, yeah, she's super talented and I love working with her. And she's like, oh, my dad is so-and-so and he managed so-and-so. She's like wasted. And I'm like, what is happening? I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, sweet. And she was just like, but if you're working, these things, blah, 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 like, you don't need my help. And I literally was like, I'll take any help I can get. Like, if you want to connect with people, like, totally cool. Like, I'm still struggling too.
Uh-huh.
And so 5 minutes later, she goes, so do you live here? I was like, no, I live in Los Angeles. I'm here on a writing trip. And she goes, so do you like have people? I was like, yeah, I'm booked like every day, but like I'm looking, to do as much as I can like while I'm here, as in songwriting or producing. She goes, like, do you have people here? And I'm like, what the hell is with this bitch? I was like, yeah, but I mean, like, if you're gonna set me up, like, that's cool too. And she goes, no, do you have like gay people here? And I'm like, what is she talking about? And then it clicks in my brain. I'm like, oh, she thinks I'm gay.
Yeah.
And she wants to know if I have a gay group to hang out with. And I was like, okay. I was like, I just started laughing. I was like, I'm not gay. And she's like, oh, I was like, I've been dating my girlfriend for like 2 years now. And she was just like, I'm an asshole. But I just thought it was so funny. I was like, who does that? Just goes up to somebody and be like,
Yeah, that's weird.
do you have gay people here to hang out with?
That's
Like,
really
Who would
uncomfortable.
ever say that?
That's like asking a woman if she's pregnant almost.
Yeah.
Like,
or
not
just
that it's
being
bad, it's
or
just
even
like something-
going up to like a single girl and being like, oh, you need a guy, huh? Like, it's just like
Yeah,
offensive,
yeah, that's true,
It's just
yeah.
like it's one thing to like, I mean, no guy, you're not going to go up to a straight guy and be like, hey, I mean, and maybe gay guys are looking for that too.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it was just like, why?
That was so random.
Like, it's so random. Like,
Yeah.
you could have talked to me about anything. You could have asked anything. Like, do you have a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Do you have a boyfriend? What's your... Went straight to like, do you need an orgy? Or are you set? So that was
Yeah, that's
my little
interesting.
experience. That was like day 2.
So you're like, oh, okay, I get
I
it.
was like, so this is... So, but I don't know. It's like a weird thing that... I don't know. Like, I don't know what I give off. Maybe it's because, like, I'm just, like, somebody said to me, they're like, you're well-dressed and you have a good
Yeah.
haircut.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
I think
was
so,
like, that's
too.
so weird.
Yeah, and like obviously people who dress well and have a good haircut doesn't mean they're gay. Doesn't mean that they're not gay. It's just people associate that sometimes. I don't know
Yeah.
why. Maybe because
If
it's
you
more of like
shower-
a feminine side. If you have like a good
Yeah, I
style. Sorry,
I'll
don't dress
take
like
it-
a bro.
I'll take
bro.
it as a compliment. You know?
Yeah, you dress really well.
Yeah.
And you have a good
But maybe
style.
that's why girls never hit on me.
Maybe. Well, they don't need to now,
Yeah.
Bruce.
But never in my life. I was like never hit on.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Interesting. I
But
don't know why.
what about you? You had a...
Well, I was like alone. Well, Aaron and Bruce left at the same time.
Yeah.
So I was kind of alone for like a week, but I hung out with my friend Zane a lot in our crew. And honestly, I was just really obsessed with, Shane Dawson put out this whole tanacon. It's almost like 60 Minutes or something. It was like a news, not a news, almost like a documentary.
It was like a...
so interesting.
It was like a piece, you know?
Sorry, this might be a little noisy, but my hand is like, look at it.
You don't have to squeeze on.
I know, I'm just nervous. We're holding weird mics.
So that's why,
like, yeah. So Shane Dawson, by the way, I've loved Shane's videos since...
Shane's a big YouTuber.
Yeah, Shane Dawson, he's huge. And he used to make a lot of videos that were like... Well, he's gone through a lot of phases, but more recently it's like, let me make a pizza out of this weird candy or like those kinds of videos. He used to, yeah. And even then I was like, he has such a good sense of humor. Like I can feel it. And I like watching them, even though they weren't...
It's like genuine.
Yeah, even if they weren't that clever or like interesting of videos, he had like his personality made it everything. And I was like, I love him. Like I love Shane Dawson. So now he's doing a lot more of stuff he really wants to do. You can tell because he's like... I think the first one he did of this new kind of series that he's doing now was meeting his dad for the first time. And he brought a cameraman, he brought his boyfriend. Our friend Andrew, yeah. And it's so good. It was like watching an A&E show or something.
Yeah. It's the 60 Minutes is like the best way to put it.
Yeah.
It's almost like, you know... He really goes all out with these videos. And that's what I think was really cool is like, he was like, I was sick. I wasn't happy doing those food videos and whatever. It just felt so goofy. And now he's doing stuff that like means a lot to him. But he had like shouted out our buddy Andrew who like helps him edit and film and stuff. And he said like the way Andrew was editing, it like really inspired
him.
me.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Like that somebody can like kind of change it based off that and like move forward.
Yeah, it's so cool too because Andrew used to be my roommate and I would hear him in his room editing for my friend Ricky. He would film for my friend Ricky his vlogs and edit them. And they weren't like like Shane's type where it was like documentary style, but it was still vlogs. And I would hear him like laughing in his room.
Yeah, they were hilarious.
It's
the
cool.
vlogs were really funny.
Yeah, it's cool to know he always has loved doing it and now he's doing it like for real, like making money from it, and it's with his friends, and I don't know, it's just really awesome, and people know him now because
well-deserved.
Yeah, because he's Shane's cameraman. So anyway, Shane just did. I don't know if you guys haven't heard.
Well, I guess
about tanacon.
let's back it up. So VidCon is a convention. It's a video convention, VidCon, where YouTubers and influencers will go, and it's basically like a meet and greet type thing.
Yeah, they can meet their fans and panels.
I guess people premiere stuff like Instagram will be like, we have this new IGTV thing.
Yeah,
like,
it's a big opportunity for brands to like have booths there where all these kids that bought tickets can go and like check out their booths and stuff like that.
You have to be on like a list or something as an influencer to be like invited to get a pass and to get your meet and greet and the whole thing.
Yeah.
And this YouTuber Tana Mojo.
Mojo? Yeah, Mojo.
Mongoose? Tana Mongoose? Tana Mojo like wasn't invited by VidCon. She was banned. She made a video.
She was invited. She was invited for 2 years, I think, but each year she never got a featured creator pass. And a featured creator pass allows influencers to get like backway. I don't know how to say
it. VIP.
Basically. Yeah. So basically they're like they have security and the security takes them in the backways and stuff like that. So if you don't have that, you have to walk on the floor. And if you're walking on the floor and you're that big, you're going to attract a ton of people. It's a safety hazard, whatever. So basically they told Tana, you have to come to VidCon because you have to promote this series you were on. You have panels, blah, 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 but they didn't give her a featured creator pass. So she's going to VidCon, trying to get to her panels, attracting all these teens, like these mobs are forming, and she gets banned from VidCon, basically, because she was a hazard. But like, in my opinion, it wasn't her fault. It was unless something else happened behind the scenes that we don't know. Which I still am like, what? But so she made this whole video about VidCon and it describing it all. And basically at the end, she was like, honestly, fuck VidCon. I'm gonna start my own tanacon. It was just a joke, really, at the time. So a little bit time passes. She decides to make it an actual convention. Yeah,
and gets a bunch of like huge YouTubers on the list of like people that are gonna be there that you can meet. And
Shane included.
Yeah, Shane. Yeah,
Vlog
Shane
Squad, Ricky Dillon, all these people.
Elijah Daniel,
Yeah, so she, I think it took a month or two to plan. She didn't take much time to plan.
That's no time at all for a convention.
No.
It takes like a year.
And she had it in the same area as VidCon, the same weekend as VidCon, kind of as like a fuck you. Yeah. But I also understand her wanting to make a change.
But it is a little petty.
Yeah. So her description of it, she wanted something that was free for people to come meet their favorite creators. So she sold it was supposed to be like, you can buy free passes, you can get free passes so you can come in, do whatever you want to do, or you can get VIP, which is front of line, quicker access to stuff. So it basically went to shit.
Yeah.
When it happened. She partnered with a company called Good Times. So basically they were supposed to like plan everything and make sure everyone had what they needed and make sure the venue was the right size, blah, blah, blah.
And because, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have heard it.
Oh, yeah.
Long story short, the Marriott is where it was, right? Marriott?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The Marriott capacity in the room was like 1,100 or maybe 12.
I think it was 1,100.
Something like that. And they sold 5,200 tickets. Now, it doesn't take a mathematician to go, you can't fit 4,000 extra people in there. And in Shane's video, it shows like, it's showing both sides, but it also shows that they said, yeah, Marriott told us the capacity was like 1,100, but they also, quote unquote, told us we could fit more than that. 1,100 is just as like a safety precaution.
Yeah.
So 4,000 people were waiting out in the blacktop, getting sunburnt, no water,
sunburn.
waiting there hours. I mean, like, not only have we gone to concerts, I've performed to concerts, people come early. People want to be front of line. Mm-hmm. So I can't imagine, like, some of those girls were probably there 6 hours before doors even opened, So, a lot of people got, like, really sunburnt and everything. And then Tana and Good Times claimed there's 20,000 people outside. That's why they shut it down. When really there was 4,000 or 5,000 people trying to get in that had tickets.
Yeah, and that was how many tickets they sold. Because they were claiming, like, we only sold 5,000, but 20,000 people are here. Like, we didn't know all these people would come, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So basically, by the end of this, tanacon shut down the day it started.
Yeah.
They opened it. A few things happened that were running smoothly, but outside it was not smooth.
Yeah.
People were not getting in, not getting anything that they bought.
People were flying from like all over the country to go like meet Shane or meet other influencers. Like, that's nuts.
Yeah. So that night they were like, it's canceled. Like, we can't do this because we can't find another venue. So basically it ended off where Good Times and Tana were pissed at each other, I guess, or they didn't understand why it went wrong.
Yeah.
They didn't understand. And so Shane was a big part of this because a lot of people were coming to meet him and his friends.
And he doesn't ever do conventions.
No, he hasn't been to a convention in like 5 or 6 years.
That's nuts.
And he's a huge deal. Like, he just doesn't like it. So this was like weighing on him so heavily. And he was like, I can't sleep. Like, all these people came and like, I feel bad.
Yeah.
I don't know what
totally
to do.
Get that. I understand.
Yeah. So he decided to go in and he interviewed the dude who's in charge of Good Times. He interviewed Tana. He interviewed fans that were there.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because the first episode, it was a 3-part series. The first episode was the fans. Second was he interviewed the Good Times guy.
Yeah.
Which was interesting because he was kind of painted to be this evil person who was trying to scam people. Mm-hmm. But when you watch the video, he kind of explains like his side of the story. And then the third episode was Tana explaining her side of the story. And honestly, there was no really conclusive ending. Like, I thought at the end it would be like, oh, that's what happened.
I think it's because it's still happening.
It is, yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot of lawsuits. I think because I think how many people didn't get their money back. Like, the other thing is that there was only like 300 free tickets. There were supposed to be like 3,000, I guess, or something like that available to get free tickets. Yeah. But only 300. Like, there was supposed to be like, it was something like that.
No, they were supposed to sell 300, but there were 3,000. I think.
VIP?
VIP, yeah, I'm sorry.
VIP.
Yeah. So
that's only 3. Wait, I'm confused. There was like a list of like 300 people.
Right. Oh, I'm confused.
Remember, because those girls were like, yeah, I had the pass, and they looked up the list and they weren't on the list.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't think
Shady shit, guys.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. So it was crazy. At the end, I don't really know who was to blame. I feel like obviously they both are very much to blame, and Tana's name is attached. I feel like Tana should have been more involved in the planning.
Yeah, I think it's just, I mean, they're both young, and I think it was just like really dumb to do this out of spite. And that's what Shane calls it out for. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much like you said, like it was like the way it ended, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah.
Like I walked away not like he's the blame, she's the blame. I was like, I think they're definitely both to blame. And I think if it was my convention, like there's no way anything would slip through the cracks.
Yeah,
And that's
if you were,
me,
yeah,
but like, and I mean, but I also wouldn't do something in 2 months like that.
yeah. I get why she was trusting in this guy because this guy was Good Times management. This guy claimed that he ran conventions and tours and stuff. So she was like, oh, he knows what he's doing. So she really put all her trust in him. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like if I was her, I would be with him every step of the way and be like, okay, make sure this is here. Make sure there's food and water for people. Make sure.
But it also bothers me that when somebody goes, because like in the videos, you see the guy in like a Segway wearing like Gucci and like being like very, I think like trying to be like, I don't know, more professional or something.
Yeah.
Like he knows everything he's doing. He's got an iPad with a little pen and everything. And she's calling that out and making fun of it. Like he's always extra. He's always running around on a Segway and this and that. I'm like, but you saw that while you were planning.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So, and she's claiming, oh, these people told me not to do this and blah, blah, blah. It's like, so you're the blame. And I know she takes some of the blame, but it's like, that's the hard part. It's like you can't call somebody out after the fact to be like, and then also from that and that and that. It's like it just sounds like you had all the signs to not trust the guy.
Yeah,
you know. So
I think this is just a really good lesson for her.
Oh,
I feel like
100%.
Now she'll.
Can you imagine VidCon? They're going, who's next?
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Who wants to try us next?
Yeah.
in the same weekend,
I
same city.
I feel really bad for the fans.
I do too.
That
yeah.
were there and it's like it's not even like even if you get refunded, it's like some of those people like were like, oh, this is my opportunity to go meet Shane,
like take off work,
and I'm sure that's why Shane like can't sleep at night.
Yeah,
because then it's like, yeah, I took off work, I paid $1,000 for a hotel.
Yeah,
for
this was my
blah, blah.
vacation for the year.
This is my money well spent. Like that hurts me.
Yeah,
that it's like somebody was like, okay, I have $1,000, I can go to here, I can go to there. You know what? I'm gonna go meet Shane because that is what I really want to do.
Yeah, and then. It just that was a crazy.
You can't refund that. That's what's really tough.
Yeah,
and I know she knows that, and that Good Times guy knows that. So I'm not trying to like be mean. Just that just sucks. That's
it's a good life lesson.
People need to focus on that and a way to make that up to people.
Yeah,
not just trying to put the blame, but a way to fix it.
I honestly thought it was. Everyone's like, it's not gonna work. I was like, I feel like it'll work. Tanacon.
No, yeah. Well, the other thing is that, I mean, even before I said to you, I was like, this is going to be a security nightmare.
Yeah.
And you said, well, she said all of her money, like through friends, all the money is being spent on security, which it was supposed to be, but somebody cut corners.
Yeah.
So that definitely made it tough too.
They spent like
$60,000.
Not even a tenth of what VidCon spends.
$1 million on security.
It's crazy. I couldn't believe that it was like $1 million for security.
Yeah.
Whew.
Anyway.
Speaking of life lessons, should we read some emails?
Let's read some emails. If you don't know, we have an email, which is coupleofissuespodcast@gmail.com. If you have an issue going on in your life, whether it be with a couple, whether you have more than one issue, which would qualify it as a couple of issues. Send that over to your koi pond leaders,
family members,
mom and dad, your koi pond parents, and we like to read them and give our unprofessional advice because we are not professionals.
We need like a little thing at the bottom that's like, do not take.
The following advice is not professional. These two. One graduated from college, and the other is a almost 30-year-old man-child.
Your discretion is advised.
Your discretion is advised.
Bad boys, what you got?
What?
I don't know. It just cop starts playing out of nowhere.
It's like the sound guy's confused. Like, no, wrong. This isn't a porn.
Well, I guess. Let's go. All right, let's
you've never seen it.
Let's get to the first email. All right. Okay. So this is from a girl. It's from a girl. I was dating this guy for almost 2 years, and during like mid of our relationship, he got a girl best friend.
Ooh.
Right then and there, I knew it was a big mistake. I mean, trust, I have no problem with people being friends of the opposite gender, but what are the possible chances of getting super close to them and then starting to act differently? This relationship was about 2 years ago. I don't care for it now, but I just wanted to tell you, sometimes I still think about it and what I could have, and could I have done something about it? I broke up with him because things got too different and I saw messages from her that seemed strange. Ugh. Also, his call logs with her would be like 8 hours. That's bad, to be honest. After that relationship, I met someone else who has treated me the way I wish every girl should be treated. Oh, that's good. We have been together for 2 years, and it has been amazing. Oh, and my ex ended up dating his best friend, who he swore he had no feelings for. So I want to see if you guys could talk about it in your podcast. That's tricky. And
No,
that's
we can't.
sketchy.
Next question.
Okay,
No, I'm
anyway.
kidding. Yeah, that happens a lot, I feel. And maybe it was in the beginning of it, him being like, no, there's like, she's just my friend. She's just somebody I really like to talk to.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I think something's going on here.
Yeah. I think it's sketchy. I don't know. I feel like maybe it's sketchy if once you're dating for a while and then they get a best friend that's the opposite gender.
Well, that's what
and
it sounded like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And she noticed they were talking a lot. 8 hours. Like, I'd be like, something's happening.
Yeah.
Like, even if you say it's not, it is. Like, that's weird.
It's definitely, it sucks. It just never works because somebody's bound to get feelings, when you're like that.
Possibly.
It's like,
Talking
like
that much, yeah.
Yeah, 8 hours.
Yeah.
Excuse me. 8 hours that you talked a whole work shift. You're literally putting
worked for that
work
conversation.
in. Yeah. And you weren't even getting health and benefits.
Yeah.
Maybe you were getting benefits.
Maybe. Yeah,
Maybe it was
probably.
friends.
Sketchy. So, I mean.
But I would say that probably, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You good.
But that probably is like a thing in her brain that she's like afraid, like if her current boyfriend is going to have like a friend or like, oh, I made friends with this girl and da-da-da-da. She's going to be like, can I see your call log?
Yeah. That's where
that
trust
makes it tough.
stuff happens. Trust issues and stuff. I don't know what I was going to say. Probably wasn't that important.
No, it's got to be important.
Crickets.
I literally heard crickets
I know.
outside. But what would you do if I started talking to a girl in like 8 hours and I'm like, dude, there's nothing there. You're crazy.
Oh, I mean, it would bother me. If you weren't going to change it, I'd break up with you. Because I'd be like, even if there's nothing happening, that's bothering me a lot. They're talking for 8 hours. Like, that's not
nuts.
okay. It's not okay.
Can you hang out? No, I'm on the phone.
Yeah, like I'm on the phone with Samantha. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just
Sorry,
weird.
Sam.
Even though he has a friend named Sam, that's a
It was
girl.
like one of my best friends.
See, that's the other thing too.
But if I was on the phone with her 8 hours a day,
Yeah.
even that was like before. I know where you're headed.
Yeah.
Even if that was like Sam's been my friend for years, one of my closest friends, and we don't even talk that much anymore. It's so weird how when you get older, it's like that's still my really close friend because I know so much about them, but we don't talk that much.
Yeah. But
if I was talking
she's
to her
in town,
8 hours a
she'll-
day,
Yeah.
But yeah, she stays in my place when
Yeah,
she's in
it's
town.
totally normal. It's always weird when like you're dating someone
It
and
sounds so
then
sketchy.
they get.
Let me justify that. She sleeps in the living room, and Carly and I both sleep in the bed. In the other room.
she sleeps in the living room.
She sleeps in my bed. Carly stays at her place. It seemed
Like,
so
not in your
sketch as
room.
I said it.
Yeah, we just share a bed, the three of us. But obviously, she made a good call breaking up with him because he ended up dating her, so there was obviously feelings involved.
Yeah, and especially because you're being treated well now with your new boyfriend. Like, I wouldn't assume that, and not that you are, but just if a girl comes up in your boyfriend's life, just kind of ease into it.
Yeah.
Don't do anything rash because it sounds like you're happy. Don't ruin it over
Relax.
a little thing.
You relax. Don't think about it. All right.
What's next in the core email?
This one is from, I don't want to say her name. It says, hey, so I started a YouTube channel a couple of months ago, but I don't know what ideas to do for my videos. I really don't have many friends that I can film with, and I don't have any creative ideas that I can think of to film. Do you guys have any ideas of things to film or any advice to overcome the creative block I am having? That's probably the hardest part of being a YouTuber. Like, it sounds so ridiculous, but... There's a lot of times where Aaron and I need to think of like 5 videos to do because one of us is going out of town, and we love filming and like I love editing, like that's all good. It's thinking of the ideas, so I totally get that.
Yeah.
But my only advice is, again, coming back to Shane, like watching him do what he wants to do and just like film it is so interesting to me. Like if you have an interest, even if it's like, I don't know, something that, like, I think Kristen McAtee, she just did something, and she just brought a camera with her and filmed the experience, and it was really cool. Oh, it was one of those tanks you get into that's like has some water and it's pitch black.
yeah.
So she vlogged the whole experience. So something like that is
cool.
always really interesting to me. Or anything to do with like beauty or getting what's it called? What are the needles in your body?
Acupuncture?
Yeah, something like that. If you're interested in something like that, or just an experience, or skydiving, just like bring a friend to come with you, or even like a parent, just to like film you, and then and videos are all in the editing, so you can make it interesting in the editing. So if you have something you're interested in,
that's really important.
Yeah,
videos are in the editing. Even like film, like when I first started to be around you guys when you were filming and to be around David.
Oh, yeah.
And what he does in the edits, it's insane to me.
Yeah. Or sometimes I'll watch Liza's videos. Liza Koshy, like her 99-cent store. I'm like, if you were there watching her, you'd be like, this girl is like on drugs or something. It's not funny when you're filming it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm sure it's funny when she's filming it. But it's like there's so much dead space, or she has to do a joke 3 times.
Or well, she'll set the camera, walk to the back, and be like, $1? And it's just like, what is she doing? Yeah,
$1.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so it's all in the editing. So don't feel stupid bringing a camera with you and filming something that you really are interested in doing.
One thing that I'm really bad at, and that's really important though, is I think somebody that's killing it right now in that is Alex Ernst. In like if you need to, don't be obnoxious in like. Other people. Yeah, no Jake Paul, Logan Paul bullshit. But like Alex would be like, he commits to like his thing. So
his jokes.
when he commits to his jokes, or like his most recent one, he was doing a protest and he's like, and it's footage with no audio, but his face is so angry and passionate. You can tell he's actually yelling. You see the veins in his neck. If he just like half-assed it and he's like, I'm embarrassed, like I can't do this, and then went to edit it, like
he'd be like,
I think it's really important to commit to it.
Yeah.
And that's something I have an issue with. Is like committing to, because I'm like embarrassed almost. Like, you know, like when I'm in my room, it's so easy.
Yeah.
You know, to be weird and myself. But like especially this podcast, if we were doing this on a park bench, I would be so different.
Oh, if people were walking by and stuff.
Yeah. But I think going off of what you said, which is the most important thing, is that you don't want to get big off something you hate doing. Because then guess what? That's what your subscribers are there for. So if you're doing a viral video of just like, oh, everybody loves slime, this is the dumbest shit to me, I'll do slime, and then you're known as the slime guy, you got to do that forever now.
Yeah,
so it's like, do the stuff that's going to be, if you really enjoy it and you're passionate about it, stay consistent. The biggest thing for us, and we were just talking to Brandon Cavillo about this because he mentioned about their podcast, the moment people are like, oh, this is a part of their life now, like I'll start to tune in. Like that's like, it's, people want to see, it's like Post Malone was around like 4 years and then boom, he like skyrocketed. Now is like the biggest thing ever. But that's because people are like, oh, he's not going anywhere. It's like eventually people catch on to it. Yeah. You know, which I think is the best thing, rather than be like, if you're just like a quick like, boop, all of a sudden you're huge, like that can go away so quick. Because there's no not substance, but you know what I mean? Like
it's not, you're not passionate about it. And even if you're doing these and it doesn't turn into a job, like it doesn't make you any money, at least you found a really fun hobby. Yeah,
100%. Where if you're only doing it because you're like, oh, I heard you can make money doing YouTube videos, like it's never gonna work.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Because look at Adpocalypse, look at this podcast.
Look at,
you know, it takes a while.
Or like what happened with Vine, like it just went away and everyone lost their followers. But if you are like David, he had so many Vine followers and he just genuinely loved making videos. Now thank you. Bruce is combing my hair. He went to YouTube and you can tell he loves making videos. Yeah. That's just where the passion is. So like no matter where you go.
I don't mean to cut you off. I already see the comments going, when Bruce tried to fix her hair but ruined it.
Wait, where?
Like this, I don't know. Am I doing it? Should I put it behind your ear?
Sure, yeah, go for it.
Because I already see the comments being like, oh my God, like my OCD is killing me. Because I see that stuff and I'm like, oh, I didn't notice that. So that would bother me later.
Well, you did a good job. Leave a comment below.
And a good review.
Yeah.
Next.
Here's one that you sent me. I don't know. I don't know if it cuts off though.
Yeah, it's the next one. I sent you two.
I know. You did? Well, it's in my text. You can go to the text if you want. We're having texting difficulties.
I go into your text. There's like another guy.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that. There's another guy.
Hey, Carly and Bruce, you guys are the effing. Or you guys are the fucking shit. So I'm just gonna say.
We get monetized, immediately demonetized. I didn't even think about that.
Libsyn's like, This is great. We're going to monetize it. Nope.
No.
Hey, Carly and Bruce, you guys are the fucking shit. Love you both. If my name cannot be mentioned, that'd be lit. I'm about to be 22 years old, and I live in New York City. I went to college upstate and had some interesting experiences. Why am I saying this like it's like Room Raiders on MTV? I'm from New York City. I'm 22, and shit's lit.
And I'm single as hell.
And I'm single as fudge. I went to college upstate and had some interesting experiences. Upstate is like upstate New York. Mm-hmm. Okay. Like I'm talking like you're dumb. Don't spit your water out, Carl.
What? I've never heard of that.
I dated a lot of guys. Guys are like not girls. I said I dated a lot of guys.
Oh.
I was like, guys are like not girls.
Oh, thank you.
Hooked up with a lot of guys, and I always got invested way too quickly. There's 9 Ys. I lied to my parents about what I was doing in school, especially to my mom. My parents are divorced. I didn't want them to know about who I was dating or seeing since I was in an emotionally abusive relationship my first semester and hid a lot of that from my parents who were not happy about my relationship.
Yikes.
So to start this off, she was a freshman, first semester, abusive relationship. So I guess her parents found that out later and were like, yo,
Don't date for a while.
you got to be real careful or like let us know what's going on in case like something goes wrong, which I understand. You know, they're protective and they want to make sure their daughter's in good hands. Yes. Skip ahead 3 years and I got caught in the middle of one of my lies by my mom. After that, everything got unveiled about what I was doing in school, my dating history, sex history, drinking, friends, literally everything you wouldn't want your parents to know, they knew. I was forced to go into therapy, which is very helpful, and moved in with my dad and stepmom to have some distance from my mom. Okay. So now she's in with her dad, trying to keep some distance from her mom, I guess.
Okay.
After about 6 months of being home and working through a couple of my issues, hey, shout out, that's us, yoink, yoink, yoink. I started dating again using dating apps.
Hello.
We will not mention. I hooked up with about 5 guys and had a lot of first dates. I would bring these guys home to my dad's apartment where there was a strict rule of nobody in the apartment when they were away. Obviously, I broke that rule. Side note, sorry, I'm like thinking, maybe we should reach out to that dating app because I doubt there's any podcasts that are based off meeting on that dating app.
That's true. Yeah, we should. Okay. You have any, your people know people?
Yeah, I'll have my people call your people to see if they know people.
Thank you. That'll help.
It'll be me. I hooked up with about 5 guys and had a lot of first dates. I would bring these guys home to my dad's apartment where there was a strict rule of nobody in the apartment when they were away. Obviously, I broke that rule. Why is that obviously? Obviously, I'm fucking
I'm
shit.
Crazy.
No, we're not making fun of you.
No.
Obviously, that makes sense. I hid this from my parents again. I didn't want them to know who I was dating or doing any of this. However, I got caught by my mom again. I still keep returning to lying as a result of feeling like I'm being judged by my parents due to my investment in these men that I choose to date. Okay, that's interesting to me. So feels like she has to lie because she's interested in these guys, but that makes it feel like if you're interested in them, why wouldn't you want to tell? Oh, because she doesn't want to be judged.
Yeah,
I like this guy. And then the mom goes, well, what's the guy like? But I think there is a middle ground.
Yes.
You got to be able to be like, look, I'm telling you about it and I want to see this through. You can't tell me no, but I will stop bringing them when you're not here.
Right. There's more.
I don't really want to have sex with all these guys, but I feel like I don't give anything in return to them just liking me for who I am, mental health and family issues and all. So I give them sex as a return. I know this is unhealthy and I'm continuing therapy to explore these issues, but I'd like to get some perspective on what you think I should do as far as continuing a relationship with my parents, bettering myself, and to promote better relationships with men. I think the biggest thing is, I think this is completely unprofessional advice. So,
your discretion is advice.
That being said, I would say, I think the abusive relationship you had or she had may have done a lot more damage because of the fact that it was like, I wanted this to be like something I figured it out and I didn't. And so it looks like I need my parents' help to do this in relationships.
Yeah.
So then she's like, okay, you know what? I'll get this taken care of. Okay, like this guy's not abusive, but like I need to give him something. I'll give him sex. And then like I don't have to tell my parents about it, but like this is me like solidifying like I'm making this work. Mm-hmm. Like I'm making this guy happy. He's not abusing me. So it's almost like a self-worth issue.
which is really common probably after abusive relationships.
Well, yeah,
The
or
self-worth
in
is
general.
just-
Self-worth is really hard.
Yeah.
It's really, I mean, a lot of people have self-worth issues.
Yeah, but I guess I mean like finding it in somebody else after a relationship has treated
Finding
you
it
that
in somebody
way.
else.
Like your self-worth. A lot of people, I feel like after an abusive relationship, whether it's physical or mental, they don't have self-worth because it's been worn down so much that when they find somebody, they base their self-worth on that person.
True.
So that could be also what's happening. It's just hard because I feel like this is such like a therapy type of
I know. And the good thing
ordeal.
is she's seeing a therapist, so that's like the
Yeah.
most important thing that I would say first off.
And it's hard because I know it's hard to listen to your parents. How old was she?
22.
Yeah, it's hard to listen to your parents, but a lot of times parents do know best, even though,
It sucks.
yeah. But also you are old enough to make your own decisions, but I think you know that this isn't healthy what you're doing.
Yeah, the lying thing is what is interesting to me that I'm trying to figure out, like, and it seems like she can't figure out, like, why do I love lying? Like, why do I want to
Yeah.
lie about this?
Yeah.
And I think that's the, and it almost, and she says it, I don't want to be judged. And maybe that's the big part of it is like the self-worth thing involved too. But it's like if you are having self-worth issues and then you're telling your parents, okay, yeah, I dated this guy and whatever. I don't know. There's got to be a middle ground. Like your parents at 22 need to be understanding that, and maybe that's the start of it. I think it's really important to have a good relationship with them, especially if they're providing for you, and you know, other than them maybe getting too involved in your personal life or your sex life, whatever it is. Like that aside, it sounds like they're there for you and they care about you. So it's just, what's it called? Not maneuvering that, but like focusing that. Like you take something and then you
Divert?
channel.
Oh, channel.
Channeling that like love and passion, whatever it is, into a healthy thing. I think I've talked about that before. I remember saying that word.
I think so too. Yeah.
Like art or something. But oh my God, I can't believe we're finally having issues of repeating ourselves. Episode 9, baby.
8 episode or 9. This is 9. Yeah, it's 9. Wow.
But I think it is really important to have that established, like a trust of like, look, I'm working on this, whatever, and being able to be open. But yeah, I don't think you have to be completely open. But don't like if your dad is saying, hey, don't like have people over here, you betraying his trust. Like I'm sure that would suck to be like. And I know it's not like I'm doing this to hurt him, but it's also like a mutual thing. It's like, look, I'm doing this to better myself. I understand your rules. I'm going by that, but at the same time, you need to give me my space to be able to like work on myself and to better myself. So I think it's just like a middle ground, like finding that middle ground.
Yeah. It sucks. Like it sucks when you have to lie so much. I think that just adds to everything.
And
Like
I think
lying
it's
to
like,
the parents.
yeah, like a little lie turns into something bigger. I think that's the hardest part. Is like knowing like, or like getting away from that and getting out of that.
Yeah. She's also really lucky she can live with one of her parents and kind of figure it out too.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's really important.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, it is the 4th of July today. This is this day
This day in this
that we
nation.
are recording this. So this comes out on Monday
Yes.
on audios. And every Wednesday it comes out on the YouTubes. So you can go to Apple Podcasts. You can hit subscribe. It's a couple of issues. My name is Bruce Wigner, at Bruce Wigner.
And I'm at Carly Encontro.
And you can follow us at Couple of Issues. You can tweet us. You can Instagram us. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you love, what you hate. And email us, coupleofissuespodcast@gmail.com with any issues
Anything.
you have, or issues you have with us, or issues you have with other YouTubers, or musicians, or artists.
Wait, can I just bring up that email for like 2 seconds?
What email?
You said other YouTubers. Some girl emailed us, and we emailed back. She hasn't responded yet.
Oh, yeah.
But she was like, "This might sound stupid, but I forgot how old she is. I think she's 19, maybe younger." But she was like, "I'm really obsessed with this big YouTuber. He's a guy, and you know him very well. And I think that I'm in love with him. Like, how do I get over it?" And I was like, "Send me his name. I'll get you over it real quick, girl." I'm like, if it's like Zane or Heath or something, like, it's just funny. I just want to know
Probably
who it
Alex.
is. It might be Alex.
Alex or David, I feel. You're like lean out frame girl.
Sorry. I was getting really into that. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, who is it? I just want to know.
The wig was being pulled.
My wig was getting
slowly snatched.
I almost was straight up
Yeah,
bald.
so email us back
Yeah.
so we can
I'm really interested.
debunk that one.
Even if you don't want us to say it on here, just tell us anyway. I'm just really curious. We won't
Yeah.
mention it on here, I promise.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, thank you guys for listening and for watching. And
Yeah.
we'll,
Make sure to smash that subscribe button on Apple Podcasts. We're also on Spotify now, in case you were wondering.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. We did it just for you guys. But if you can tweet your congressman and let them know a couple of issues should come to your state. And
We're the new mayors.
we're running for mayor.
Yes.
We're going to be the first coupled mayor
Oh
of
God, that'd be terrible.
Iowa.
Oh, that's fine.
We'll be close to your hometown.
I don't want to.
On that note, we'll see you next week. Good gunk.